Um,
Hello.
yeah, I can hear you. So yeah, with your fight coming up, um, how has like the whole process been? Like, 'cause I imagine like you haven't had like to like dedicate yourself to something like in a while, right?
Right. So I've always kind of been on and off going into that gym, the compound that I go to. Uh, but I've never really had like a reason to keep me going consistently, day in, day out, or every other day, or whatever the schedule is. But this fight for sure has kept me in there consistently for the last 4 weeks. As far as how it's been going though, it's definitely kept me humble. So as far as what I mean by that is like what I eat and how hard I work in the gym and train, how much time I'm putting in, like making sure I'm getting my time out of it when I'm in there.
Yeah. I mean like honestly, I think it's like I feel like it's easier to like be like fully focused on just one thing instead of having to worry about everything else that goes on in your life in the sense. I don't know if it feels like that way for you. You might feel it when you get out of it, when you're done with the fight, I mean. But like for me, like I like the idea of just having a single-minded goal and that's just your driving force, you know, each day instead of having to just kind of be free and have to wander like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Being definitely like the last 4 weeks, like just being there consistently and being fully immersed in everything, like being involved with like my teammates and my training partners and my coaches, they like that's definitely helped me like it's consumed all my focus. Like I'm not
Yeah.
really worried about anything going on outside of that.
Yeah.
So all my focus has been in there, and I don't really have time to think about anything else other than when I'm resting and waiting to go back. But yeah, it's definitely been a huge focus the last few weeks, and I haven't even really done anything else. So that's why whenever this is over with, definitely gonna take a little bit of time for myself just to celebrate and have a little bit of fun and then get back in.
So you're gonna fight again after this one? I guess you don't know that yet.
Yeah, so my thing has always been like I've always wanted to fight just once just to see, what it's like.
Yeah.
But I would like to fight again. I feel like just doing one and done isn't really the way to go. I wouldn't be able to say like, oh yeah, I'm a mixed martial artist just with one fight. I feel like I would have to get a few at the very least.
Yeah, I
But I'm
wouldn't.
definitely gonna take a little bit of time off.
Yeah, I get that for sure. Maybe you have to ask. Maybe you're gonna have to ask yourself, I guess, afterwards, after the fight.
Right, exactly. But I'm excited for it. We're 7 days out now, so
How
it's right,
is?
it's right around the corner.
Gotcha. How's the foot coming along?
It's been good. I didn't really have any issues with it today. I had those minor fractures on the top and the side, but I've been managing it pretty well. I haven't had any issues as far as training goes, and then come by day, I'm just gonna let it fly.
But like a couple days ago, you said, or last week, you said that it was hard for you to like pivot on it when you threw like a roundhouse. Is that like kind
Yeah,
of gone, or is
so
it still like affecting you?
so when I'm in there, just for the sake of like a lack of a better term, I'm just gonna call it dancing. When I'm in there, like training, whatever's on a bag or with a training partner, just kind of dancing around. It
Yeah.
doesn't give me too many issues. But when I start to come up on my lead leg is what it is. When I come up on my lead leg, pivot, um, or
Yeah.
just put any type of the wrong weight on it, it'll give me a little bit of a discomfort, but not too much pain. So it gives me issues sometimes when I'm trying to throw a roundhouse. Yeah,
Did you ever find out about the wraps, or I guess you're not doing them?
we're gonna wait to see how it goes. As we get closer, we're still 7 days away. Uh,
Yeah.
it was a consideration that we're thinking about, but as far I feel like with where I'm at right now, I'll be okay. It hasn't been giving me too many problems the last couple of days, so I think we're good. But then again, we have 7 days, so we'll just see what happens.
Gotcha. Like, have you done any like I guess like meditation or like visualization stuff?
Oh, I would say all day. I mean, not as far as sit down meditating, but as far as visualization, all day, every day, I'm like constantly thinking about it, and I've envisioned
Scenario?
every stored
Yeah.
outcome or scenario, whatever you know
Yeah.
may happen, and I think that's the best way to do it. Uh, but yeah, my visualization for the fight has been there. I definitely feel ready for it though. I don't think I'm gonna have any issues.
That's good.
The
Uh,
weight's been looking good too. Uh,
oh yeah, have you lost any weight?
yes, so my natural walk around weight was about 150, 58, I would say. And for this fight, I'm coming down to 145. So it's been not too bad cutting the weight. I've just been really eating clean and watching what I eat and how much I eat.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting around 148 right now, so I only have 3 pounds that I need to shed off, and most of that will be water weight, which I could lose in a sauna or overnight.
That's pretty good.
I feel good too. Hasn't really made me feel any weird way, so
For sure.
feel confident about it.
Do you take any supplements?
Far as in my diet for this camp, I've really just been doing protein, like kind of like meal replacement protein shakes.
Mm.
Not many supplements. Other than that though, just a daily protein shake.
Is it like the powder, or do you like make one yourself?
It's just powder. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like say I believe it's a plant-based protein.
Oh fuck
And I
no.
just I just make those. I
Plant
just make those.
plant
The
based. What the fuck does that even mean? Plant based. Like plant. How is it plant based exactly? Like I guess it's the like what
well,
does that mean? It's
I'm not
powder.
a expert in the field of protein powders, but from what I gathered and from what the dude who sold it to me told me is it's just a different type of isolate protein. Um,
Oh.
helps with like it. The way he explained to me is it more or less helps with the digestive part of it because some of those shakes can give you issues when you're trying to digest it. So the
Oh
plant
yeah.
based are easier.
Yeah. Protein it, like whenever I do my protein shakes, I always get like bloated somewhere, or at least my stomach does. But that
Yeah.
may be
So
due to the fact of me like ingesting it too quickly. But I don't know. I always get like kind of like a beer gut when I do a shake.
yeah. So it just basically helps with that. That's the um only difference, and it feels really good. I like mine. Got a nice flavor to it. It feels give me a lot of energy, and I don't really feel bloated or anything throughout the day. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, man. What you eat really like affects how you feel.
Oh yeah, for sure. And what I've been eating this whole past month has been nothing but really chicken and vegetables, and just as clean as I can possibly get it. Get it. A lot of water too.
Did your coach ever like tell you about that stuff, or you just had to like you just figured you had to?
It was more of a like a accountability thing. Like I knew based off what I eat is how I'm gonna perform essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm eating what I know is best for my body, and even come weigh-in day, a lot of people will reward themselves after they weigh in. I'm gonna try to keep that diet going for one last day, just to
One.
give me that
Oh.
one level up of mental edge that I know I ate right the night before, and my opponent probably didn't. He probably went out and gave himself a milkshake or something.
Oh. Oh. So you mean after you make weight, people would just celebrate then, even before the fight?
I'd say most people probably do. It's not for me to say if they do for 100%, but most people once they make weight, they probably go out and they give themselves like a big reward. I'm just gonna, I think one more day wouldn't hurt me, so I'd probably just eat another
Yeah,
clean plate.
I couldn't do
And
that. I could not do it. It would just fuck with me mentally.
yeah, I just want to have that mental edge that I
Yeah,
know I ate
yeah, for
right and my
sure.
opponent probably didn't.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would be the same way. Jesus.
Yeah.
You take so no supplements, any vitamins? Do you anything of that sort?
Only H2O. No
Gotcha.
no vitamins. It's been good though. I feel good. The body feels good. I honestly haven't felt this clean is the best way I can put it in
Have you done
a
any?
while.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. That's good. Have you done any like strength and conditioning?
Oh
Like
yeah,
literally.
I implement that into all my workouts.
So what type do you do, or like I mean like what exercises do you do, and what do you strengthen?
Most mostly everything I'm strengthening is calisthenics. It'll be I would say what we'd worked on the most is core,
Oh, for
probably up
sure.
there at the top,
Yeah, you
the
work on core a
core,
lot. Yeah.
the shoulders and back. But we're doing a lot of strength and conditioning. Cardio is a big one. Cardio is something we've been working a lot on as well.
Yeah.
Just really trying to get that last mental edge over. If we go into the fight knowing like, all right, well, I know that during this training camp, I did all my cardio right. I know that I won't gas out. My opponent probably didn't. It just gives you that one up mental edge. Like you'll be good the rest of the fight.
Yeah, running. I've like I somewhat enjoy running, but I also don't like it. Like it sucks, but I've learned to like somewhat appreciate it. If that makes sense.
Running's definitely not a fun exercise to do.
I just like like honestly like at the very beginning it sucks, but like once you get kind of somewhat used to it and it becomes like normal for you, you begin to like I don't know, it becomes like kind of a drug in a sense.
Some people will get what they call that runner's high. Once you start running and you
Oh
get that
yeah,
runner's
the
high, you can go forever.
yeah, the runner's high. Love that.
That's a big thing we've been talking about too. Is once that fight starts, that adrenaline is going to be pumping. It's somewhat of a high itself.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because like do you like realize it in the moment if you have adrenaline? If it's like if adrenaline is like kicking in your system, are you like aware of it? No, right?
I think, and if it's a situation you're not prepared for, you wouldn't. But if it's something like what I'm preparing for, yes. Because what my coach has been telling me is I'm telling you all this stuff now, how you're gonna feel, what it's gonna be like when you step in once this fight starts. I'm telling you how it all is gonna feel to you, so you don't freak out and you go to yourself. You say to yourself, okay, yeah, coach told me about this. I have nothing to worry about.
Oh, that's good.
I think once you know that it's gonna happen and you kind of accept it and you bring it into your plan, I think it makes it a lot easier to control.
I was in a car accident about like 3 years ago, and the front airbag blew. Oh, like okay, so here's what happened, right? So I think I told you this already. When I got in my accident, I totaled the car, and I hit a car head on, and the airbag blew out at me, but I didn't feel anything. Like I knew it blew out on me, and like I felt the force, but I didn't feel any pain. Is that normal, or because I feel like aren't the airbags like somewhat they cause a lot of injuries, or is that just not a thing anymore?
No, I think airbags definitely do cause a lot of injuries. I think I read somewhere that airbags, this may have changed, but I read somewhere that airbags come out at about 200 miles per hour. I'd probably fact check myself on that. But when an airbag deploys, it comes out at about 200 miles per hour. So
Jesus.
it's definitely a big punch. Um,
But like
but
that's why I'm saying like I didn't feel anything because I knew it blew out on me and I felt the force of it, but I didn't feel any pain and I wasn't injured.
I would say a lot of that's probably the adrenaline of the moment. The adrenaline just came through really quickly, and then afterwards, it could have been a little bit of shock, like, oh man, I was just in a car accident. Body doesn't really allow you to feel that kind of pain.
fucking wild, dude. Adrenaline's wild.
Adrenaline is a crazy chemical.
100%. Like a lot of these guys are addicted to it, right? They got it. They're like the guys that love it. You know what I mean? The
Oh,
guy.
adrenaline junkies,
Yeah,
yeah.
they love. Like that's actually like that's a thing. Like that's true.
I think honestly that's another big reason why I got into fighting because it's the closest thing I can get to. It's the easiest and most. It's the easiest way for me to get a good little adrenaline pump going without having
So
to do too much.
so you like the feeling.
Yeah, I would say so. You know, just being in cage or ring. You know, I would say I mainly get with sparring. You know, sparring with my training teammates, my stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You just you can it's kind of you get that feeling, especially when you start getting hit a little bit. When you get hit in the face, it doesn't feel good, but that adrenaline starts kicking in. It's kind of like a survival thing. Your mind's trying to put you in a survival mode, and you're much more aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I haven't felt that yet. Fuck.
It's definitely it's a weird feeling, and then like relating this back to the fight I have coming up. My coach was saying like, oh, when you watch back your fights, you're gonna be like, damn, I got hit really hard right there. Like I don't know how I didn't get dropped from that. And he said, it's just all adrenaline. That's why you won't feel it in the moment, but when you watch it back, you're gonna be like, damn, I got hit hard right there.
Mm-hmm. Wait, how many fights has your coach had?
The exact number, I'm not unsure, 100% sure of. Sean Loeffler is my coach. He's got somewhere a little bit north of 170 professional fights altogether, or this might be amateur and pro combined.
That's a
I believe
lot. Jesus.
his pro record was like 34, and MMA pro record was about 34-6 maybe. But he's got boxing fights as well, and then a lot of other fights thrown in there.
He likes MMA more than boxing.
Yeah, he's definitely an MMA guy for sure. Um, Looking back on his career in MMA, he was a big knockout dude. If you watch some of his fights or in clips or on YouTube, he was always a big knockout guy. But just over the years, his life has only been about MMA. So he's had a lot of time to learn and gain knowledge on it, and all the people he's made connections with through his career in MMA. He still has those connections. So it's a big help when he's trying to set up fights for young guys like me or the younger generations coming up.
Yeah.
And he's also visited other countries. I think he trained in Thailand for a little bit.
That's
He
sick.
told me a very brief story about it. But his mom lived in Thailand for a little bit, and he was training with those Thailand guys in the kickboxing.
Oh shit, what? Wait, he's from like Southern California, right? Or is he from somewhere else?
I'm not sure where his birthplace is. Uh, I wouldn't be able to tell you where his birthplace is from. I know he's lived here for the past 18 years for sure. That's how long his gym has been around for.
Yeah. Um, I was gonna ask like, who's his like favorite fighters?
He probably, knowing what type of guy he is, he'd probably say himself. To be honest, when he was up there fighting,
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I know he's got a lot of buddies that are still in the game, still doing their thing. He was hanging out with who was it? Frank Shamrock, I believe, the other
Yeah.
day. Had lunch with him.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, damn. Frank Shamrock. Jesus.
and just having lunch with him. Even gave out a little shout out, a little clip shout out to the people fighting. This was a month ago. He gave a little shout out to the people that are fighting for my gym on that weekend.
Oh,
It was
really?
just cool to
It was
hear
like a
from him.
video?
Yeah, he was like,
That's
"What's
pretty
up,
sick.
guys? Go out there, kick some ass, do good, do great."
It's wild.
Speaking of fights, got another big one coming up on this Saturday, March 4th. return John Jones.
Yeah. Who you having that?
I think it's going to be. I honestly could go both ways with it. I think it's a pretty even matchup. John Jones is always going to be a favorite, but the ring rust is a real thing, and he's been out of it for what is it, 2 years?
I think he's been out. I mean, his last fight was Reyes in 2020. So it's
Yeah,
3 years, pretty much. I think it was March 2022 is when they fought. Actually,
and it's
no.
crazy to think about all the new fans that didn't even know John Jones really existed until the UFC blew up during the COVID-19 situation.
I didn't really know about him either. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw like videos and stuff, but I didn't like know. I just wasn't familiar with how I am about it now. What was the first card you saw? Was it the Khabib 229
Are we talking about the first UFC card I ever watched?
Yeah,
Ooh,
or like
uh,
pay-per-view?
I would say first pay-per-view I ever watched, like bought pay-per-view and watched, was probably the 229 Habib and McGregor. I would say I think I got UFC started catching my eye and I followed it a little bit through social media when I think Nate Diaz and Connor fought for the second time is when I started hearing about it.
Okay. So that was what, like 2016, 2015?
Yeah, man, crazy to think about how long ago that was. Time flies.
Yeah.
And now Nate Diaz isn't even fighting in the UFC anymore. He's done retired, starting his own promotion.
Wait, is he really? Is it like
Yeah, he
MMA?
has Real Fight. His promotion is called Real Fight Incorporation.
Real Fighting Corporation. And is MMA or is it boxing?
It should be MMA. I want to make sure I'm right on this. I know he started something. Believe it was Real Fight Incorporation.
How profitable is an MMA business though? Like how profitable is it? It's a very niche market, large monopoly players, well really one player that really has a good market share. Like how much?
I think it's a very big entertainment business, I believe. So if you get the right guys, you can make a lot of money from it.
You think so?
Oh
There's a lot of
yeah,
talent though.
absolutely.
That's for damn sure. There's a lot of fucking talent. Yeah, I mean if you get right people, but also it's like I don't know. You can't have submissive type of leadership. You know what I mean? You have to have leadership that's like strong-willed.
Yeah, this is true. In what regards when setting up fights or
Yeah, think about being a fucking fighting promoter, right? Think of the Eddie Hearns, the Dana Whites, the just think about being promoting fights. Like that's your job, right? It's to find people, you know, perhaps build their records, make entertainment, make your point is to sell tickets, all right? You're selling for audiences. The more eyes you have, the better. That's your job. And your job is to say, okay, these guys are going to fight, and I need to figure out how to build this up to the max. Meaning, how can I sell the most with these two? Because that's what it is.
that's where those fighter beefs come into play. And then it makes you question how much of those beefs are really legit or not.
Yeah, but that's also on their part too, right? I mean, think of Kobe Covington, for example. Like, that's his image, right? And he does it to sell, he does it to get attention, whether it's good or bad, because it really doesn't matter. Same with Jake Paul.
This is true, yeah. Jake Paul's an interesting one because he's always playing both sides of the fence in my opinion.
But what do you mean?
He's always a lot of people refer to him as a troll or he's always just talking shit, running his mouth, starting the beef, making the bet, so whatever it is. But Tyron Woodley, for example, he bought him a Rolex watch. Tommy Fury, for example, he bought his baby newborn on the way baby gift, and this is during like verbal exchanges. And he's a very strong advocate for MMA fighters as well.
I just don't. I don't take him. I just don't care. Like all it is like I respect that he's just getting attention. That's all he is. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't really matter. He's just the point is to be a polarizing figure and then fight. You know what I mean? But that's it.
Right, sell a fight.
I don't know.
Very interesting. What about you? I know you trained a little bit. Are you still into it at all, or have you been training at all lately?
No, I have not. I'm more like I want to get back into it. I'm going to eventually. Just not right now. Mostly because of my shoulder. It's still fucking giving. It's like still like not there in terms of health wise.
You ever tried physical therapy on that?
I did, but I stopped going. I stopped going because it was getting expensive, and that was the time when I was going to New York and stuff. I got really busy with school, so I just yeah left it off, which I shouldn't have done. But I mean, the exercises weren't like I could have just done those at home, but instead I was paying $40 every week for like an hour of time. But I guess you also pay for like the shit she knows or the shit the physical therapist knows that they can advise you on. That's whatever.
Yeah, medical treatment's expensive. It gets
Yeah,
crazy.
man. Like I couldn't afford it at the time. Now I could, but it's just not. I don't. There's no point in like paying for it. I could have just done it at home. Do the exercises at home and then get it over with.
Have you been doing any exercises at home with it?
Yeah, I have, but not as consistently as I should be.
Consistency is key. I think consistency is the biggest
I still
thing that
shadowbox
people
somewhat.
lack. Shadowboxing, yeah, shadowboxing is a good one. Shadow
Um,
Shadowboxing is really good. It gets you moving, gets your body moving.
but yeah, shadowbox a lot, but I don't really like put on the gloves or anything. I don't hit the bag at all. I still run
I
a
love
lot.
running, yeah, for the cardio. I love doing the bad work, the bag work. That's a big thing I enjoy. The sparring is obviously going to be like your most
I like pad work.
realist thing. You like pad work?
Mhm.
Pad work's good.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That's hot in here. Jesus.
Are you liking the new apartment?
It's clean.
Nice. I hope you're keeping it that way.
it's yeah, it's chill. It's not a bad area. It's fine. It's not like anything luxurious, but it's whatever. I'm not paying for it, so I'm not paying rent. That is.
And you have how much time left there at that internship?
So I'm here till the end of April because, well, yeah, that's like the latest I can stay. Because my graduation is on May the 5th, which is like that next week, or the week after that, I mean. So my parents actually just got the frame. So I ordered like yeah, I ordered my cap and gown, and they offer like various packages, and I got one that was basically the cap and gown and a frame, like a diploma frame. So it's a frame that you can put your diploma in.
Ah,
And
okay, I
yeah, my
see.
parents just got it like this week that passed.
So you
And yeah.
excited?
Um, yeah, but also like it just feels weird because I am not. like I'm out of town, and once I do get back, I'm gonna be gone for 3 months, and then I get back, and then boom, like I graduate. Like not even like I haven't been at campus at all this semester, So it's like I feel like it's gonna be a weird kind of feeling because it's like, wait, I just got back, and then I'm done with school. Like this is it. I would have wanted a moment where I could just sulk in like the present moment, being like I spent like the past 5 years of my life doing this. I don't know. Maybe I'm playing it up more than like it actually fucking matters, but that's just what goes in my head. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I spent 5 years doing that. Like I spent 5 years going to school, and then I'm done now. So it's like, oh, like like this eventually
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to break a routine. Like a routine is in something you've been doing for a long time, and you're not gonna be doing it anymore. You could
Yeah,
always, keep doing further progressing that degree or seeing what
yeah. I
other
thought
doors that
about
opens.
yeah, I thought about going back and getting an MBA, but I just don't know. That's like a whole nother like. I just don't. I don't know if it's for me or not. I don't know if it's gonna be like something I'm really gonna want to do because I also have this fear of like. Not, I don't. It's not fear. Like I don't want to say it's fear. It's not a fear. It's like I'm concerned about because if I don't want to go into it like being half-assy about it. If that makes sense. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll see if I can get this MBA. No, like if I'm going to go back to school for 2 years, then I'm gonna be committed to it. I don't want to half-ass it because if I go into it half with that half-ass mindset, then it's gonna be hard because I'm not gonna be determined or disciplined to get the work done and come out of it.
Right, exactly. I think you have a good mindset on it.
Um, but like I mean having it, I don't know. Like also there's a part of me that's like with anything like career wise, what I'm doing now or what I do to plan or what I'm thinking about in the future, it's like you just don't know what you want. And like part of me like wants to do some things or likes the idea of getting these things just for like ego purposes, if that makes sense. Like it would feel nice to have an MBA, right? It would do good for your ego, but is this something that would truly like I don't know. I'm kind of like overthinking here, but you kind of just
No, I think, yeah, no, I see what you're trying to say. A better way to simplify it might just be like something you add to your personal resume. Like, yeah, I did that. Personal accomplishments, and I think personal accomplishments are. I don't think those are an ego thing. I think those are important. For yourself, just to show that you showed up. Basically, you did the work.
yeah.
Some people wouldn't do that.
You on the other hand have 20 more years to go.
Gosh, right?
It's 20, right?
Yeah, I've been in for 5 years now.
Yeah. Or you could always go get out. You always have the
Yeah,
choice.
there's definitely a lot of doors to open. They help you set it up on the way out too. They help you try to get job opportunities and hook you up with people that are offering stuff.
Really? Is it a good? So it's like a program that they offer?
It's more like a separation process called TRS, transition readiness. What
Hmm.
the S stands for. The S isn't important. Transition readiness. That's the important part. It gets you ready for getting out.
Position readiness. Have you spoken to Robertson
No, well,
any time?
actually, I have. I hit him up the other day. Just seeing how he was doing, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
How's he doing?
Been doing good. I mean, it's like he's enjoying being out. That's for sure. I asked him if he'd want to come back in. He's like, nope. He's
Huh.
just been living the civilian life. Uh, yeah, man, lay over there in nice warm Wisconsin, where it's negative 40 degrees.
It's negative 40?
I think it can get that low.
Jesus. Wisconsin. What the fuck is there to do in Wisconsin, dude? What is Wisconsin? Fuck, Wisconsin.
It's north
North of where?
above.
Like just direct.
No. So if we're looking from Georgia, it's kind of like north and then a little tiny bit west. Think over there by the Great Lakes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then yeah, man, like Packers are from Wisconsin. That's one thing. Or cheese curds. Have you ever had cheese curds before?
Cheese curds? No, what's that?
Yeah.
I think I've heard of that before.
They're little tiny balls of cheese, but if you get them from
Okay.
Wisconsin, they're really good.
Okay.
I know it sounds very simple and like I don't know, kind of like what the heck, but I'm telling you, it'll change your
Wasn't
life.
this may sound weird. Wasn't your ex girlfriend from Wisconsin? You know what I'm talking about.
One side of her family was, yeah. One side of her family was.
Okay. Um, Jesus. You said you wanted to. You could always get out. You know, I mean, like, well, like, say like 5 years down the line, you just decide that you would, or you like the idea of getting out. Would you, or would you just stay? Just because you've already done like 10 years.
That's a hard question to answer because I would be like halfway there.
Yeah.
I've seen some people where they've gotten out at like 15 years, and sometimes they just see better
Damn.
opportunities.
Gone out at 15. That's a long fucking time. Jesus. Forget
Some
fucking
people,
5.
hmm some people once they just get to a certain point, they say, "Well, I might as well finish." So I mean, for me, it's gonna be all solely based off of opportunity, like what's out there for me.
Yeah.
If I find something better, then I might.
You could always go like MSG again, right?
Yeah, I could go back to MSG. Yeah, it's always an opportunity. I've also been thinking about going recruiting as well
Yeah, recruiting.
because you can kind of pick where you go a little bit. You get a little bit of incentive if you volunteer for it before they pick you.
So you don't get a yeah you don't get a say in what you do, huh? They just have to like they just select you for whatever you like whatever.
You somewhat get a say, but if they pick you before you volunteer for something, then it's kind of like you're going wherever.
Hmm. I think
Yeah, so it's kind
in the army
of
they
like a
just
double-edged
fucking choose
sword.
whatever, right?
As far as what? For like jobs?
Yeah.
If we're talking about just jobs, so like recruiting and MSG and stuff like that, they're considered like billets, like different like B billets. So they're not really jobs, they're just like a secondary thing you do once you've already been in for a little bit. But for jobs, usually you can kind of pick where you do unless they just don't have it available or they need other people somewhere else. They're always going
Gotcha.
to try to fill their spots before you pick what you want. So
Yeah.
all a numbers thing.
Have you spoken to Jordan?
I saw Jordan today actually,
Oh, did
up at
you?
the gym. He was up there doing a little bit of stuff, but I was a little preoccupied with my teammates. We were doing a lot of cardio and conditioning. I didn't have a lot of time to really stop and talk.
Yeah. How big is your gym? Is it a big gym or is it relatively small?
It's a very small gym, but I would say the family is big. You know, it's not like your 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu or
Yeah.
UFC gym where it's all routine, routine, routine. You know, we have a schedule, and most for the most part, those classes are being done at that day. But the time will always differ. You know, it could be they say 1 hour, but it could go for an hour and a half or 2 hours, just depending on our coach, whoever's teaching the class. You know, sometimes he likes to spend more time on things. You know, he doesn't really do things in a routine. He doesn't follow the routine or the how normal gyms do it. Well, hey guys, your hour's up. You know, see you next week. You know, he's more involved with you and making sure you're really picking up what he's learning, repetition, which I really like. And the family is really good. I like it because, you know, I've met some great people at that gym who I'll train with, even on my off time, where I'll just go up there and roll or spar with them.
Yeah.
Or if they're just wanting to hang out, we can hang out. I go over to their house, hang out, just watch some UFC fights, boxing fights, whatever it is.
Yeah, that sense of community is a good thing.
Yeah. So as far as the gym size, small, but everything, all the equipment is needed in there. You don't really need a big gym.
You don't,
And
yeah. You also get more centered attention.
exactly. And I like it just for the people. Take everything else away, the people would keep me there. We'd
Yeah.
figure out something.
Where was Sydney going? He said he was going to a Mercedes Benz or something. He had like a suite.
Atlanta United game.
Oh shit,
Gonna
really?
watch an Atlanta United's game. Yeah.
Dude, I
Watch when
can't
to
watch
go.
MLS.
No.
No, it's just like it's such a like a so like in soccer, like there's no like one league. I'm sure you know this, but like I'm just gonna explain it anyways. Like in soccer, there's like multiple leagues, and traditionally, the better the most I can't think of the word. The best competition, like the best level of play, is in the Europe leagues,
Oh yeah.
right? Which is like, yeah, that makes sense. But the MLS, it's more like North American league, like more North American. I don't know if it's North American, but it's lower level talent than obviously like the European leagues. And like I tried watching games online and stuff of them playing, and it looks you can tell that you can visibly tell a difference between like the level of play.
For technical abilities, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like just the way it. Think about someone that just like think about watching someone that just started MMA versus Adesanya. Like that's
Ah,
those are different levels of play, right? Different level of
yeah.
talent and time development and stuff. Just different level of talent. There, that's what I mean. It's the same kind of way. Same kind of way
I
you look
see.
at the European leagues and MLS. And that's what I feel like that's what a lot of people will tell you. And also like the MLS leagues, like you'll see I'm pretty sure like you'll see like older legends in like the European leagues in their primes when once they get out of their primes and they get a little bit older, they'll sign with an MLS team to like finish out their career or something. Just because all of the top
Right,
level
right.
talent is in the prime talent is in Europe.
Okay, yeah. That's
But I mean,
I like that take.
but obviously like I don't really know shit either. I just got into it. I got into it because of the World Cup, and I mostly watch like the national team people.
Right, right. I got you.
I don't even watch their games. I just watch well the games I do watch are just national team games, and then will follow like just on social media what players are doing at their respective clubs.
Understand. Yeah, soccer is something that I've been trying to get into more lately. I haven't really followed it too much. I kind of just understand the basics of it.
You should get into F1, dude. F1's about to come back soon, and this next month.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
Formula One. That's some real interesting. Man, I heard those steering wheels alone in those cars are $10,000.
really. I don't even
This
know
is what
that.
I've heard. I'm not sure.
They're
I'm
having
not
like,
sure if this is 100% true. I'm sure it's a ballpark number.
dude, yeah, dude, it is honestly like a wealthy person's kind of thing, dude. Like the tickets are insanely expensive. They do these events in like Bahrain, fucking Saudi Arabia, Dubai, like Miami, Vegas. Like these events are like those events are funded by like wealth
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a rich man's sport.
for sure. I mean, like a rich man's sport in the sense of like the rich men don't really participate. Like it's just they're just the drivers are just just kids really. A lot of them are really young, but if you want to like have it as like if you partake in it and watch it, it's definitely like for a wealthy populace.
Yeah, I would love to get behind the wheel of one of those things. I don't know how well I do, but
a lot of them start out really young. Like they start out like local circuit, like same thing MMA. You go to your local circuit things, and you race all the time, and you develop. You get better at it as and then you move up in like certain, I think different leagues and stuff that they have. I don't really know for sure, but that's a lot of them start really young. It's a lot of young kids who are
Yeah,
drivers,
yeah, that makes sense.
and it's only two of you per team, so it's very it seems very strenuous because every year, like, I mean, this is for every athlete, I guess, but your sole job is to just perform and do the best. And like a
Yeah,
certain, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, yeah, just train, 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 and then whatever it is on the field, in the ring, on the court, just perform, do the best you can.
They're having three events in North America. One is Miami, two I think is in Austin, three in Vegas. And the Vegas one is November.
I heard about that Vegas one, actually. That was
Really?
one I was looking at, but I believe the tickets were all sold out.
You can. So I saw this video of where you can see the track from like your hotel room. So that might be the move.
How much you think those hotel rooms are going to be for that weekend, though?
I mean, yeah, they're gonna be a lot, but not worth more than the ticket. I am assuming it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot for sure. It's not gonna be fucking, it's gonna be at least a couple hundred, I imagine. If it's a
I
thousand,
believe
then
it.
that's fucking insane and a little ridiculous. What if like the last one's like a suite? we we're on the phone with the receptionist and she's like, "Yeah, we have a suite, but it's like 1,500 if you want
1,500 for
it."
the night
Yeah, yeah. Imagine.
might be the move. Might
I
be the
mean,
move.
we can split it. I'll do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would do it.
Let's look at rooms right now.
Okay. I will. I need to find the video I sent because like on the what I saw online was it gave you like the specific hotel and room at not room but the hotel that overlooks the track. How long have we been going for? Let me fucking see.
Nothing like a little meal replacement shake.
You said meal replacement?
Yeah, I'm having one of my little shakes right now.
Have you been eating a lot of fruit or
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I would almost say I'm borderline vegan. Uh, especially the last half of this last week, but the rest of this week I'm probably gonna be like as vegan as possible. Fruits, nuts, berries, whatever it is, bananas,
Yeah.
vegetables, and then lots and lots of water for sure.
Um. Okay, we can cut it here. I don't know how
All
long it's
right.
been. It hasn't told me, but I'll cut it right here. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Till next time.
All right.